Wondering how your mindset affects your life? How to bring more energy into your business and life? Millions of people around the world ask these same questions daily. You are in the right place. Learn practices that will help give your life the meaning and success you've been searching for. Welcome to the Charge Podcast, teaching you how to create habits around real goals every day. Practical life advice from those who made it. Here's your host, Gary Wilbers.
Welcome, Chargers. We're glad to have you back again this week for another great guest. I love sharing different guests with different viewpoints so you get to learn from them. And as entrepreneurs, as leaders, as business people, as family people, we always can learn something new. And that's why in the Charge Podcast, it's about create habits around real goals every day. Today, I'm excited to share with you Jessica Yarbrough. She has quickly developed a reputation of being one of the best business strategists and marketing and sales consultants for entrepreneurs who want to sell high-value products and services. Her background is in international business, and she's built multiple companies. Jessica is a genius at showing entrepreneurs how to build an expert platform, rapidly rise their value, build their credibility online, and attract high-paying clients. She travels the world teaching and inspiring entrepreneurs and helping them to grow their influence and make the income and impact they desire. Jessica, it is great to have you on the Charge Podcast. Welcome.
Thank you, Gary. Glad to be here.
Well, it is so exciting to share because the thing I think people can learn, no matter if they're in high value tickets, they're an entrepreneur, they're going to learn something from our conversation that we have. But everyone knows that it starts with a story. And Jessica didn't become that marketing genius and that strategist overnight. It took time. So can you share a little bit about that journey that you've been on to be able to reach the level that you're at today?
Yeah, well, it's been a very fascinating journey, I think. I mean, I managed multiple companies. I ended up having a dream, writing a business plan in college and building a company in San Diego from the ground up. And then I was quite young and it was a lot of pressure and I really hadn't discovered who I was. So I hit burnout almost to the point of a breaking point. And much to the dismay of everyone around me, I actually walked away from what I built and I bought a one-way ticket to Southeast Asia. And I've spent about 4 years on a path of self-discovery, really tuning into who I was, healing, all of that kind of eat, pray, love journey that you've heard about. And I really did fulfill a passion of mine, which was like to really understand the world and to travel it. Then I was living in Costa Rica, came back from there and got pregnant with my daughter. And suddenly I'm an expecting mom. And of course I had this come to Jesus moment, like, okay, you got to settle down and create something amazing for her. So I had that choice of, do I want to go back and kind of go into corporate or get a job? Or do I want to really follow the vision in my heart, which was to create that ultimate life freedom for us, use my talents that I hadn't used in years. And so I started my own consulting business. And today I've generated, over 7 figures. I've helped other people do the same. And I did that all as a kind of solo mama, again, building it from the ground up from scratch. So it's been an amazing ride.
Well, first, congratulations to you. And the journey that we go on really helps us see a different perspective. And I think that's the thing that people have to realize. We're all on a journey. And
Yes.
if we look at that, what that perspective is, and I think that really probably helps you today of how you help entrepreneurs. But share with us kind of the details of your strategy and marketing and how do you get in to really help entrepreneurs to leverage those high-paying clients?
Well, I think I started like everyone else when I got back into, consulting. I was billing by the hour, submitting timesheets, and there's only so many hours in a week. And so you kind of impose your own glass ceiling. And this is where a lot of coaches and consultants get trapped because in order to make more, they have to do more. They have to put in more hours. And they also have this relationship where they almost become like an employee because they are submitting invoices. And so what we want to do is shift that so that you become the consultant, the mentor, and you're paid on a retainer type for the solution that you provide. So I went on that journey and realized that the only way that I was going to be able to change my life was, number one, to really see and own the value that I bring to my clients' lives. Because literally I had made my clients hundreds of thousands of dollars and charged them pennies compared to what I had made, helped make them make. So it was first like really owning my value. And this, I'm going to tell you, Gary, I see come up in so many seasoned professionals where they have literally decades of experience and have solved multi-million-dollar problems for their companies. And yet they're still charging nothing compared to what that result. This is very, very, very common. So first we have to be able to see and own your value. And part of what I do is like really looking at what are your biggest wins that you've had and helping to codify kind of what is your genius so you can build a solution that you can confidently go out and sell for a high value price. And when I did that, it was life-changing for me. And I didn't have to worry about billing by the hour or trying to do courses and, all the other things that require volume. So that's what I help my clients do. But first, we have to get clear on what you want and then on the value that you bring to the table.
Yeah. And I think that's so important because if you don't know what that sweet spot is, some people call it, it's that center. If you have 3 circles, what's that center that really creates that as an entrepreneur? And this applies even for people that have a traditional business. What are those sweet spots for your customers that you could really grow in your business to be able to take that next level? When you look at your clients and you're really working with them, what does success look like when you've completed kind of that journey or you've walked them through that journey of really taking a look at owning their value and really finding out what their geniusness is?
Well, I think it depends on the person. The people that I attract into my program are like me because it like attracts like. So they're typically very family oriented. They're usually in between like the ages of 35 to 55. They want to spend more time with their family. They want to uncap their income. They've been stagnant for years. They want to make $500,000 to 7 figures, and they want to do it with a lean team and a simple model, a very simple, streamlined process. They're not looking to produce 1,000 pieces of content or be an Instagram influencer. It's a very different vibe. In fact, the Lamborghinis and Rolexes and that whole bro marketing does not resonate with my people at all. The people that come to me are like, yeah, I just bought a boat. This is great. We're making money, or whatever it may be, but they're very family oriented. They want a good life, make an impact. So success is, it is dollars in the bank account, Gary. It's not only dollars in the bank account in terms of revenue, but holding on to it with profitability. It's reclaiming their time freedom. So we help them to, 4 to 10x their revenue while actually reducing their hours. And you can do that with smart pricing and structure, and having a team that they can rely on to do kind of the grunt work, the kind of time-sucking tasks that prevent them from really using their time in the most valuable way to make the impact to drive the vision of the company.
Yeah. And I think that's the key, is because so many people want it, but the challenge that everyone runs into, it, I see it all the time, I'm sure you do too, is in social media, everyone says that, you can grow that business to 5 million, 10 million, and then 50 million. But the challenge is then if it's really finding those core values that's built into them of what they want. You talked about, family oriented, somebody that wants that. They really want their time inventory back. They want more of the freedom of time. They want to be able to operate in a business. And I think that's becomes the real key, is entrepreneurs sometimes forget about, they get so tied in working in the business that they stop working on the business. And what's some of the things or challenges that you've seen as you've started working with your clients, trying to move them out of those into, yes, you can have this freedom time?
Well, you bring up lots of great points. I would say the number one thing for people that are stagnant when they come to me at that $250,000 to $500,000 is that they are at the center of their business. They are the bottleneck. And so we have to make fundamental shifts in order for them to step out and be the coach, the trainer, the mentor, the consultant, like own their process, obviously, and drive the vision. They cannot do that if they are doing all the things. So we work heavy on systems and team and processes for that. But before that, everyone that comes to me, we have to change their pricing model. And again, like my client, Michelle, she had 7 different offers when she came to me. So that's a lot of complexity, because every offer you have to manage, you have to promote, there's a funnel for it. There's things that can break, all of that. Mm-hmm. So we streamlined her into 2 offers, and she replaced her entire year of revenue in 8 weeks. So she did over 300,000 in 8 weeks. And then we worked on those other systems and processes and all those things that we put in place. And we were able to take her to 7 figures. And none of that would have been possible if we didn't address the underlying symptoms, of she didn't have any time. So we had to reclaim her time. She had too much complexity. We had to simplify in order to scale. You can't scale complexity. It's very hard. So each customer I look at their business, and for their unique way. But we're still working around the same fundamental blueprint that we know works over and over again.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting because there's several entrepreneurs that I speak to and have on the show, they talk about the processes. Mm-hmm. And as entrepreneurs, that's normally not a strength of most entrepreneurs, not all, but for most entrepreneurs, it's not. And can you share with us how important that is really to gain the growth and also freedom of time? That processes within a business, no matter what size, is key. Of course, we see it in corporate structures all the time. Of course, we realize in some of their structures are broke too, because you can call their 800 number and you can realize how broken it is. I was on a call, I won't name the company here recently, we had to send them emails. And we have been dealing with this issue for the last 2 years. And of course, they finally have changed and turned us into collections. Now we're trying to get through that whole process where there's broken systems too. But in an entrepreneur or in a smaller business, the processes really will help drive the business forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, here's the thing though, because I think we definitely do want processes and to systematize. The most entrepreneurs, the mistake they make, because there's marketing systems that we help put in place, like funnels and email list building and all that. And then there's internal processes, project management, that kind of thing. A lot of entrepreneurs make the mistake of they get advertised by ClickFunnels or Kajabi, and they're like, oh, I got to build all these funnels. And that's the ticket. So they end up spending a lot of money or paying someone or spending 60 hours trying to build something out themselves before they're ready. So we don't want to add those kind of systems in until we validate your offer, meaning we have a proven high ticket offer. It's 25, 50, 100,000, whatever it is. We've proven it because you've sold it. And now we know that even though we may not be 100% there, we're 80% there. We're ready for that next step of building in systems that we know are going to convert, that are going to work in terms of funnels. And so we need to do things in the right order. But if you want to be beyond that quarter or $500,000, you're going to have those systems in place, especially if you want to go to that next step of running ads. Because again, if you try to run ads and you don't have a streamlined system, you're literally going to burn dollars. So we need to make sure it's working, and we're going to prove it, prove those systems, flush them out, get the kinks out, get the broken links out, Gary. And then we're going to run full throttle with our ads. So systems are really important. Also putting the right butts in right seats at the right time, being able to self-fund that. Some people think, oh yeah, now I'm making money, I need to pay $80,000 for an executive assistant. No, you don't. Let's get, the right social media manager in place. Let's get your right head coach, kind of program manager in place. So we help you to identify that role, create the description, know who to find, where to find, so that you can, again, reclaim your time and go full throttle with all the things that you're really a genius at.
Yeah. Excellent. Excellent. I appreciate you sharing that, because I think it's so important for people to understand when is that right time. And that's one of the things you're really talking about is, crawl before you walk and walk before you run. Because so many people see somebody else and they always think, and the thing is they could have been 5-10 years down the road they're at a different level that you are. You can get there, but you have to decide to crawl before you walk, et cetera, in each one of them. When you look at your audience and the clients that you attract, how do they really benefit from your information? You've shared a lot of what you go through with it, but how does your audience really kind of level up their game to really find that genius that they want to have with your audience?
Yeah. So, I mean, really, I put out content all the time, and we have a process around that. And I'm really here to educate and inspire and create a paradigm shift for people that there is a faster, easier, more streamlined way to scale your company. So I create value added content. And then if they want, that next step of me kind of hand holding them through the process, then they can book a call.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate you sharing that. And we'll definitely have you share your information here at the end, because some people may want to be able to reach out to you. Plus, as I told you, I was on your website yesterday or the day before doing my research, getting all prepared. And the information you have on there is a lot of great information that you share with people that they can easily download and to be able to get. You definitely have a lot of content that you share in that area. Now, let's ask one more question before we kind of go to the recharge round, Jessica. Mm-hmm. When we look at content, we look at people that are scaling, they're using their expertise. What would be something you tell someone, they're hearing what we've said and they understand, but what would be the steps you would get them started with? And I know some of it we've covered already, but I want to go back to the basics. If you was telling someone that they're just at that getting started to being a coach, and now they realize, and something they haven't realized even yet, that those hours will add up and they're going to lose their time inventory real quick, because most coaches find out real quick once they get 20, 25 clients, oh my gosh, this is more than I can handle with everything else that they have. Right. So someone that's getting started, what would you tell them to really kind of at the basic level to be able to get started at, to start thinking in this process method that you use?
Yeah, I mean, definitely see where you can solve an urgent problem. A big urgent problem. So not small problems, but a big major problem. That's the solution that you want to build your practice around. So, and it doesn't really matter what niche you're in. I mean, I have a dating coach and high-end matchmaker who charges $25,000 to $65,000 for her time. I have a spiritual teacher and life coach who is literally earning $60,000 a month. He sells a $30,000 package twice a month. So I just want to share that, because you do not have to be a business coach, or someone in the wealth creation world to sell high end. What you do need to do is, number one, solve a solution, an urgent problem. Number two, you need to be marketing to people with a certain level of income. So if you are marketing to people who have, who are earning $50,000 a year, are you going to be able to charge them $25,000 for your program? Probably not. So guess what? Market to people who can afford you. There are a lot of people who earn a lot of money all around the world, and if someone is earning over six figures or over 100,000 or multiple six figures a year, they have a lot more discretionary income. Or if you're going to go after businesses, whether that's small, a few $1 million, all the way up to Fortune 500 companies that literally have millions of dollars set aside per year to invest in consultants, then go after that. So play bigger, go bigger, and know that whether you're marketing to individual or marketing to a big company, there's huge opportunity for you to make headway, and it doesn't have to be the broken billing by the hour model.
Excellent. Excellent. I appreciate you sharing that. And I tell you, one thing I'm good about having guests on podcasts, I'm learning the whole time also. So I'm like with my chargers now, I'm learning through this process as we move forward. Jessica, we have every guest share, kind of have a recharge round where there's 3 areas that I talk about. But before I go there, share with them how they could reach out to your website and some information that you'd like to share with them.
Yeah. So go to jessicayarbrough.com. On it, you can download our 7-figure case study. It's literally like a 20-page document where I broke down step-by-step how we helped a coach move from 250K all the way to 7 figures. Or follow me on LinkedIn, send me a connection request, and just let me know you heard me on Gary's show, and I'll accept you. And I literally put out valuable content, free trainings on the regular.
And I've been following Jessica, and she has a lot of great information. So I highly recommend that. And if you're active right now, exercising or doing whatever, we know it's hard to write things down. Don't worry. It's all in chargepodcast.com. All of our links will be right there, so you can easily click on. So check out that as you get a chance. Now, my 3 recharge questions. My first one is, the podcast is named Charge, where that's a mantra called create habits around real goals every day. What habit do you think's led to success in your life, Jessica?
Commitment to greatness. It's every day, knowing exactly what you want and the vision for your life and making those small steps, just like your Charge mantra, to cast that vision, commit, and take action towards it.
Yeah. Appreciate you sharing that. And Chargers, I hope you heard that. Where do you need to put that commitment to excellence in your life? And Jessica, for business, but personally, professionally, each area, look at that. Now I'm sure, Jessica, I won't assume, do you like going to the spa?
Of course.
I love going to the spa myself. Well, SPA to me is an acronym for simple positive actions. What is a simple positive action that you do each day to kind of help you move forward?
I exercise. I think movement is key. Movement is life. And even, whether you do it for physical strength or whether you do it just to clear your mind, it's a powerful process that creates a shift in your energy. And so I highly recommend, even if it's 15 minutes, do your exercise, do some kind of movement every day.
Yeah, I love what you say about shift of your energy, because most people that have not been exercising, you think it takes energy. No. It actually gives you energy that you're going to find out if you make that shift for yourself. My last question is, what's your biggest life lesson and what did you learn from it?
My biggest life lesson is not to ask others an opinion or permission for making huge life change decisions. The reality is, as much as our family and friends love us, oftentimes they project their own fears and insecurities. And so if you're going to make a powerful decision that's going to change your life and your gut says this is it, do not ask other people, do not survey others, because they will talk you out of it. Trust yourself, trust that inner calling. If you're being called, that is your potential that wants to be awakened. Do not ask, just go. And you can tell others about it after you've made the decision.
Oh, that is awesome. I appreciate you sharing that, because one thing we talk about in the Charge podcast is you have the capability within yourself.
100%.
And that's the key, is knowing that you have that. Jessica has seen that with the change that she's made. She saw where she wanted to change from where we talked about at the beginning of the story. And now the life that she's created with herself and for her daughter, and be able to move forward. So Chargers, remember, you have that capability. Create that charge in your own life each and every day. Jessica, we can't thank you enough for being on the Charge podcast. Share with them again, if they would like to check out your website and information, how they can connect with you.
Absolutely. So go to jessicayarbrough.com, Jessica Yarbrough, YARBROUGH.com, or find me on LinkedIn, Jessica Yarbrough. You'll see my smiling face and hit that connect button.
Well, thanks again, Jessica, for joining us today. And Chargers, I tell you got a lot to think about. But the thing I would kind of end with, I think one of the last statements Jessica made for you, trust yourself. When your instinct is telling you to move forward, to do it, go do it, versus asking other people's opinion and letting them to change your mind. So I'm not going to try to change your mind. I'm just going to tell you, trust yourself today and go out each and every day and decide to charge, create habits around real goals every day, and make it a great day. We'll see you back here next week. Thanks for joining us.
This podcast is ended, but your life doesn't just stop. To continue your inspiring journey, head over to chargepodcast.com and access all the tools and resources mentioned on today's show. If you enjoyed this episode, consider sharing with somebody who may also benefit from the advice provided. That's chargepodcast.com. Until next time, charge in business and life.